This is Francesco Albertino with the Uncensored Report. We're talking a little bit about minimum wage. If you watched my shows and my presentations and rants over the years, you've always heard that I'm against the increase in minimum wage. I understood the need for it, but I knew what was going to come from it. And we've been seeing a lot of that now. With just a couple weeks ago, I put out about McDonald's increasing their prices, which the average individual that's getting minimum wage is going to probably eat at a McDonald's maybe, and they're going to pay more for that hamburger. So it basically, it nullifies any increase in the wages. The other thing was getting laid off. They're going to, the other thing, getting laid off, replaced with automation. The list goes on, everything that I've covered on there. And we're starting to see that. I put out this article how there's now blowback against the minimum wage demands by fast food workers, and it's striking once again in yet another form. And this is with Wendy's. They're taking 1,000 stores. That's about 16% of their locations nationwide, according to a lot of these articles out there. And they're putting in these mobile robotics that will allow people to go through the robotic system instead of an individual human being. And they're hoping to save on a lot of money because they're saying basically that there's been a 5% wage inflation and they got to cover that somehow. Increasing food. Another way would be labor costs. They're driving that down. I guess it sounds like they've eliminated at Wendy's about 31 hours per store and making their employees more efficient. And now the idea is the kiosk. And so a lot of the franchisees out there are pushing corporate to go out and get these things. And they're saying, look, the kiosk, besides saving us a ton of money, they appeal to the younger customers. And again, the huge labor costs that they'll be able to get rid of when these individuals circumvent the lines to use the robotic system. And so the minimum wage laws out there are not living up to the claims that by those who taunted them. And what happened is you had a bunch of people, the McDonald's of the world, Wendy's making minimum wage. You had these advocates come in and say, oh, we're going to get you more pay. And they misled them. They didn't fully explain to them that, hey, we're going to get you better wages, but they didn't tell them that food costs, other costs are going to go up to cover the increased wages, that businesses will close, that machines may replace you. All in a need to drive for the social justice system that we see out there. And unless you're newly unemployed and you qualify for some kind of welfare, which is more and more unlikely with Trump out there, you're going to sink any further from the social minimums that are out there. And this one article I read, there's several articles out there on this, and they quoted Milton Friedman about how minimum wage law is, in reality, a law that makes it illegal for an employer to hire a person with limited skills. And so that's what we have here. Unfortunately, these guys, it's not just the advocates that have used these guys to get their agenda pushed through, these minimum wage workers. It's also the politicians. They sit there and say, we're going to get it, we're going to get it, we're going to push this through, knowing that, well, yeah, we might be able to push it through, but there's going to be circumstances that they never explain to them. And then if it doesn't go through, or if you start seeing the layoffs and the machines coming in, then they blame the 1% owners, the business owners, the 1% out there, and say, they're the ones laying you off. It's not us. We got you what you wanted. But in reality, they all knew about it. And the pawns are the poor workers, the minimum wage workers. And again, I get it. You need those increases. I don't know how the hell you survive out there without them. But unfortunately, it's not a reality. What say you? This has been Francesco Albertino with the Uncensored Report.